and welcome to another episode of Port Charles Chat for the week of January 2nd through January 10th. I'm Mom.
And I'm Brandon.
Thank you guys for joining us again today. Brandon and I are just getting back from having a little vacation, so we're just catching up. We spent some time catching up on the episodes that we had not seen yet while we were out. And so let's begin. So we're going to go back and forth just a little bit and talk about some of the top 5 or 6 things that have happened over the last week or so. All right. First of all, Drew and Willow. Drew and Willow they're still together, and and at this point in time, Michael has decided that he wants to divorce Willow, and he has served her with divorce papers. Drew and Willow have gone together on a mini vacation per se. It is actually the time for Drew to be sworn in his new office, and Willow is going to go with him, and she decides to take Wiley. Well, Michael is not really happy about that, and he actually serves her the divorce papers while she is on the trip with Drew. Um, did I leave anything out, Brandon, for that one?
Not to my knowledge.
All righty. And then let's talk about Sasha and Michael. Sasha and Michael meet up, and while they're speaking, Sasha does tell Michael that she is pregnant, and she just let and Michael does know that this is his child. Michael says he would do anything that he can for his child, and is willing to support Sasha in regards to any financial help that she needs. Sasha tells Michael that she wants to leave town, but Michael asks if she could please stay in town. Sasha says that she doesn't need any help from Michael. And like I said, the only thing that Michael kind of asks is if she would just stay in Port Charles. And then um, Michael goes out to actually go to visit his father. While he's out visiting his father, Jason happens to be there, and they're both, of course, discussing family business. And they both leave out for just a moment. And while they leave out, the place kind of catches on fire. There's an explosion that occurs. And so Michael's actually caught. And so Michael does catch on fire while he's there. Jason does come in, he puts a blanket over him, but Michael's in critical condition. Of course, he goes to the hospital. Um, Brand, did I leave anything out to your knowledge for that part?
Not necessarily.
Okay, cool. And then on another note, we have Brennan. Brennan actually discovers who has killed Dex. And so he watches this on camera, and but he doesn't really tell anyone what he saw. He hints a little bit. And so he does speak to Jocelyn and kind of gives Jocelyn some hints of where she could actually speak, who she could actually speak to based upon the list of people who he has who were actually there at the time. And so Jocelyn does speak to Felicia, and Felicia does begin to remember that while she was there, that one of the sounds that occurred was the ringing of bells, and she realizes that the ringing of bells does stop when during the time period Dex was killed. The person who was ringing the bells was Cyrus, and so when I last saw that she put it together, but she had not verbally said anything. And then Jocelyn goes at some point in time and does clean out Dex's house. And while she's there, she does find a gun. I'm not quite sure what the significance of this particular gun is. I don't think this is his police one. And so that's kind of a mystery that's there. On another note, we have Ava. Ava is without money, and Ava is not happy that she doesn't have money. So Ava goes to visit Alexis, and she tries to ask for her money back, and Alexis tells her no. And so Ava is still just trying to figure out what she could do in order to get her money back. Now, I'm going to circle back around one more time to Michael. Michael is, as I mentioned, admitted to the hospital. They say he's in very critical condition while he is there. And then while he is in the hospital, we do see another person come in, and that would be Cyrus once more. Cyrus comes in, he does put the digitalis inside of Michael's IV. And when we last left on Friday, the medicine had been given to I should say the digitalis have been given to Michael, but we are unsure what happens at that time. On another there, while this is going on, the Willow does find out that she does have authority to kind of to talk about the medical treatment that Michael can have. And so at the very end, she comes out kind of demanding that she is the one who could kind of give this information. She says that because Carly has the children taken away from Willow and Drew while they're both in. Well, she has the children taken away from Willow when she comes back in town to check on Michael. And I think that is it in a nutshell. Bram, what did I miss?
I mean, there was so much going on for such a short yet extended week, but I think you've covered it mostly.
Alrighty. And so let us move on to our performers of the week. And my performer of the week this week is actually Jocelyn. Jocelyn had a little scene in which she had some words with Willow, and I was rather amused by her words with Willow. And so, and then her scenes that she had where she was kind of cleaning out Dex's apartment kind of make me give her the performer of the week. Brandon, did you have a performer of the week?
Yes, I do. And so mine was also Jocelyn.
Okay, great. I see we're on the same accord. Did you have any other different reasons than what I said?
No, I mean, I think that in various different dynamics, she has just I think, really embraced the role of being the daughter of Carly, but also having her own spin of things. It'd be a little bit more rational than, say, Carly would act, and with a little bit more um, attitude than, per se, Carly.
Yes. All right. And then as for the music scenes of the week, I had a few. First of all, and all of them involve one person, and that's Alexis. First of all, we have Alexis and Ava. When Ava went to go see Alexis, that scene itself was just kind of cute. And then when Alexis went to a restaurant, and in this restaurant, there was every lawyer you could ever imagine in this particular scene. And so Alexis's interaction with Rick to me was rather amusing. And then we had Alexis and Christina. Now, of course, Christina's there for Michael. And so it was really kind of supposed to be a touching scene. But at the same time, when Alexis went in and Christina was ranting, Alexis kind of made some kind of snide remark. And that just made me kind of smile a little bit. And so for me, Alexis was in every amusing scene this week. All right, Brandon, what about you?
Okay, so first of all, you had a lot of amazing scenes there with Alexis. I wasn't thinking about those when I had made my answer, although I did make a note in my notes about Diane and Alexis and everybody else at that restaurant. I thought it was the must be the lawyer's retreat because every lawyer imaginable was there at that same restaurant at the same time. But for me, the one that had come to my mind when I was writing it was actually Sidwell and Lucy.
Oh yes, they were amusing together. They were. All right, and we're going to talk about them in just a little bit. And then we have touching scenes of the week. And for me, I had to dig a little bit, but I kind of like the scene that Sasha and Michael had because they did talk about the baby and things like that. And Michael did convince her to stay in town, and Michael was trying to show that he is, a good father. And so, anyway, that was one of the touching scenes of the week. The other one I had was Brooklyn and Olivia because Brooklyn was very concerned about not being pregnant, and Olivia spoke with her. And so I thought they had a nice little scene there. All right, Brandon, what were your touching scenes of the week?
So the touching scenes of the week that I wrote down were first with Dante and Lulu. Um, Especially since Lulu seems to sort of be caught up in her own fantasies and is not paying attention to reason. Dante is just sort of frustrated with everything, and so I thought that was a nice, touching scene. And the other one I said was actually Valentine and Charlotte.
Oh yes, because I didn't talk about them, but yes, Charlotte and Valentine I thought had a very very nice scene together, and Charlotte did choose who she wanted to be with, and I thought that they did a nice job on that scene. So that's true, Brandon. All right, and then we had our shocking scene of the week. And for me, this actually, I had two. The first one had to deal with a fire. I kind of wish this is the one time I wish previews weren't out there, but Michael catching on fire, that is not how I expected him to leave the show. And so that was one of my shocking scenes. Then the other one was actually Sidwell, because Lucy and Sidwell had a scene together, because I never would have known that Sidwell would have bought Windermere. And so that to me was a surprise. Brandon, what about you for shocking scenes of the week?
So for me, both of those I think are definitely interesting, and I knew Sidwell was going to come back at some point, and I was hoping Lucy would come back. Never did I think it'd be both of them together, and I was amused by their scenes. It didn't feel forced at all. But the one I actually wrote down was actually Anna tasing Brennan.
Yes, that was a shocking scene. Also, I mean that came out of nowhere, and I was amused by that too. All righty. And then welcome back. Once more. Welcome back, Lucy. Welcome back, Sidwell. Brad, any welcome backs for you?
I mean, do we really want to be welcoming back Sidwell? I mean, is that best for the residents of Port Charles?
It is not best for the residents of Port Charles, but he's amusing. So welcome to Port Charles. And then as for, and maybe I should say welcome back, Brad, too, because Brad kind of popped in there. All right. So, as for where are you? Where are you, Kevin? And Kevin is never there. And then where are you, Cody? And where are you, Tracy? All right, Brand, where are you for you?
You know, so I think we pretty much agree on the Kevin. I didn't think about the others, but one person I had wrote down that I haven't seen in a moment is Lucky. Where did he go?
Yeah, I'm sure he's taking a bath.
Yeah, and as a note, even though I didn't write this one down, is I felt that last week when we had left Elizabeth in this whole daunting situation where will she or won't she have a job, and then we just sort of left it. I would have liked to have seen her actual response and not find out about it much later.
Yeah, that's true too. All right, and then as for my fast forward moments, Brandon, it is once more Drew and Willow. How about for you?
Yeah, it's easily Drew and Will. It's not even just one or the other; it's both of them. And
Yeah.
but specifically, I wrote down Drew and Willow during the scene of Michael being in the fire.
Yes, yes, very, very true. And then as for next week, or I should say this week, because we are taping this on the 13th, I do want to see what happens with Michael. We've got Michael in a predicament. First of all, he's, of course, been in a fire and he's burned severely. But then he also has the digitalis that could be leaking into his body. I know you have seen today's episode, but I have not. And so I'll be watching that. Probably I'll be watching that probably tomorrow to see what happens. And then the last thing is Sunny. Um, once more, Sunny, and I didn't touch upon this, but Sunny had his heart issue, and he was Isaiah did help him, and so I'd like to see where it is going to go on with Sunny. All right, Brandon, what about you for next week or this week rather?
Yeah, and before I even give my answer for that, I did want to say that was something interesting this week. The dynamics between Isaiah and Sunny. I never thought that they were going to have interaction, but they had a lot of interactions within this one week.
Yeah, they did, and they were. I thought they were nice interactions that they had. So yes, so they had interactions.
Yeah, and not only that, but Jason declined to be a part of Sunny's exit strategy.
Yes, yes, and I was very happy that he declined that. But at the same time, they're also trying to figure out how to leave the mob or whatever Sonny is doing, and so that's something they're trying to figure out too.
I'm pretty sure it'll be Christina.
Yeah, our bets are wrong that Christina will be the next one to take over.
But another person who I don't think is out of the running, though, is Natalia taking it over.
Natalia could. Natalia probably is already in the mob. A different one, but she probably is already in there.
But in terms of next week, though, I had written down something that I really want to see, but has no relation to anything that's happening.
All right, and what's that?
I want to see James return.
Oh, yeah, a little lightheartedness in the show.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was so interesting. A few months ago when he, leaked to Grandpa Mac about the whole thing with, Drew and Willow, and I thought that was just so interesting. But I feel like we haven't utilized James in a moment, and so I want to see him return.
Yeah, that would be a good one to return also. So I guess we should ask, where are you and where are you, James? All right. And then, not to end this episode on a somber note, but we did hear about the passing away of Leslie Charleston. And so we just want to give her our condolences to her family. Of course, she was played Monica Quartermain on General Hospital. All right. Brandon, is there anything else that you'd like to add for the week?
No, I think that is about it. And Mom, if today's episode that aired today, Monday, January 13th, is anything to indicate what this week is to be, I'm very excited for this week to come.
All right, that sounds good. Let's see. I look forward to watching it with you later this week, Brandon. And thank you guys for joining us today. Have a great day.
And we'll see you next time.
All right, bye bye, everybody.